Tinfoil Tidbits 12. 10 minutes of tinfoil. How much tinfoil can we fit in 10 minutes? So what if globalization and outsourcing were a lie and we were already replaced by AI with fake bad accents? So have you ever asked a question to tech support, an interrogative question where you request a response of information from the person on the other end? They're usually the ones issuing the questions. And this is what a computer would do. But have you ever actually asked a question that requires a response? So not like a yes or no question, but a question of blah, 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 where they need to actually answer with a real response. Not a yes or no. And we say yes or no because yes or no is off on. It's an input. It's a Boolean. A computer could answer a yes or no question, whereas it takes a human. So anyway, in my experience, when I'm on tech support outside of the United States, what I assume, they never answer questions directly. They never actually answer the questions. Many times they just act as if I didn't ask the question. And so I wonder if AI, to mask it, they gave it bad English accents so that we didn't realize we were talking to AI and made us think that globalization and outsourcing, that we're actually talking to humans from other countries that don't speak English as their first language. But again, when I interact, if I ask a question, much like with a computer, I don't get a real response to the question that I actually asked. They just answer however they would want. I think you got the idea. Ask yourself, was it actually a human or was it AI? Another thing that's popped up lately is, a lot of people say music has been pretty bad the past 18 years. And you wonder if the majority of music is not being produced by AI, written by AI, composed by AI, because a lot of it does lack a lot of soul. And I do recall reading Ray Kurzweil's The Age of Spiritual Machines back like around 2004. And he did mention that AI was now writing poetry and composing music as well as writing lyrics to songs. So maybe that's why nobody likes music, because it's not being produced from the soul by actual human beings. It's just being processed by a machine. Are memory implants simply a movie plot device or based on reality? So many times there's a lot of science fiction films and even drama films and police shows, all kinds of shows where one of the plot devices, not necessarily the main idea of the plot, but the device that gets the plot going, the conflict, is that people have false memory implants, false memories injected, artificial memories, basically. And it's so often, is it simply a movie plot device, or again, is it something real? And I point to Maze Runner here, and in Maze Runner, none of the characters knew how they got into the glade. And then also, I was thinking maybe of Allegiant, I'm not sure, but just the idea of the memory implants, the fake implanted memories, it's a recurring theme. Is there any reality to it? A great example was in The Island, where Steve Buscemi was explaining about the memory implants that the clones had, and that they injected everybody with a varying set of memories. And a lot of people, when you talk to them, they all have very similar like childhood stories. And you just wonder if, especially with like Dark City, where they were modifying people's memories. Just don't look. So fake outrage articles, clickbait. Stop paying attention to clickbait. Stop clicking clickbait. If you see an article that just seems too good to be true, don't click it. Crime that pays is crime that stays. Now, spam and clickbait is not a crime, but anything that gets attention paid towards it, especially clicks, ad revenue, it's going to continue on until people decide they're not going to click it. It's going to remain. So just don't look. There was a Simpsons Halloween episode where all the like Larry the Lard Lad Donut Boy comes alive, and in order to defeat it was basically all the advertisements came to life. And the way you defeat them, Lisa plays a song called Just Don't Look. And then once they stopped looking at the ads, they all would fall apart. So just don't look. Mud flood. Heard about this mud flood. Every video about it, it's like an hour long. I've watched a couple, but hour-long videos are too much. That's why Tinfoil Tidbits, 10 minutes. So if anybody's got a short, concise video about the mud flood, put it in the link because I'd like to see it. Bob Lazar, Area 51 and Flying Saucers. So Jeremy Corbell makes another film. I saw his John Lear teaser, like episode 1. It was about 20 minutes long, and it was too artsy, the John Lear one. I was hoping he'd get over the whole artsy-fartsy stuff for the Bob Lazar. No, it's pretty much the same. Now, there are moments where he just has Bob talking, and that's all I wanted. But the side story with the narrator, Mickey Rourke, and the side story with George Knapp, even though I like George Knapp, I'm here for Bob Lazar. And I'm not here to watch Jeremy on screen talking to George Knapp on a speakerphone. I just want to hear Bob talking. So I wish that he could do it again where he just puts the nice high-definition camera on Bob and just let Bob talk. Maybe he didn't have enough footage of Bob talking to make a whole film, and maybe that's why the sideshow happens. But I'm here for Bob, not Jeremy, not George, just Bob. Nothing, Jeremy, you did a fine job, but again, I wanted more Bob, less you, less George, and the whole Mickey Rourke part could, it could be completely cut. Weather Modification as a Service, WMAAS. So here's weathermodification.com. In case anybody tries to still push global warming on you, say, yeah, man-made global warming is real because people control the weather. So stop blaming us because they blame you for global warming, and it's like, hey, I don't want to buy a gas-powered car. I want a free energy, clean energy vehicle. But the only cars I could really afford to buy are the gas-powered cars. I'd like a Tesla, but can't really afford that. So you're blaming me, and free energy's been here for over 100 years, and your solution is a tax. Your solution should be to release the free energy. And if anything, the man-made global warming and the global climate change is because they're changing the climate with weather machines and climate control systems. And if you don't believe the Weather Modification as a Service, you can look up the 1977 UN Weather Weapons Treaty. I mean, it's all there. It's not like we make this stuff up. So stop blaming the average person for global warming because you want to tax them. You want the global tax to fund your global government. Just leave us alone and release the free energy tech, and you could solve global warming within a year. Sneakers are not important. You wear them for function. I think I ran into some people that still were into sneakers and paying $200 for a pair of shoes. Shoes deteriorate. Hey, look, you wear them for function. They're not important. It wasn't end people I saw. It was marketers that were trying to sell the concept of sneakers and that it's normal to pay $200 for sneakers. Archons. Somebody mentioned the Archons, that I might have encountered the Archons. Possible. Kind of look like that one. An Archon in the Gnosticism of late antiquity was any of several servants of the Demiurge, the creator god that stood between the human race and a transcendent god that could only be reached through gnosis. In this context, they have the role of the demons in Neoplatonism. Archon is a Greek word that means ruler, frequently used as the title of a specific public office. Moral hazard. A moral hazard. In economics, the moral hazard occurs when someone increases their exposure to risk when insured, especially when a person takes more risks because someone else bears the cost of those risks. So they're trying to isolate this to insurance, but you could see how this moral hazard plays into place. Well, pretty much any kind of insurance or government bailout. Okay, so it does have all this. Risk pays off, profit for bank. Risk fails, bankruptcy, government bailout. Keynesianism. Wow, I'm already under 1 minute left. Let's see how fast we can go. White Squall. I finally saw White Squall. Where we go one, we go all. QAnon. It was enjoyable. Nothing really to report. It was just a nice film to watch. QAnon, JFK Jr., all that good stuff. ODD, Truman. So ODD did another video on the Truman Show, and maybe it was another movie that he was referencing, but there was a scene of people filling water into lakes, and that blew my mind. They had these big fire hoses, and they were filling in the lakes, creating. It was like the stagehands that were creating the illusion of the world that we live in. Who put all this stuff here? Who put the sand on the beach? So anyway, That's it. That's Tinfoil Tidbits. 10 minutes of tinfoil. Thank you for watching. The time flew by. That's what the beauty of, and 10 minutes sounds like a lot, but 10 minutes of tinfoil, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.